Hey everybody, this is Grumpy Old Guy Gaming. Happy Fragment Friday. Hope you're doing well out there wherever the day finds ya. I'm sure I'm doing some form of well myself, if I haven't fallen in a well and waited for a dog to go alert help. Go ahead, give this video a thumbs up if you actually caught that reference. And if you didn't, go ahead, give this video a thumbs up. See who plays along with that. So we came to an earth field. I want to say this is on Storytime Dungeons, but this isn't a custom board. So not one of the little masterpieces that Slishstrel put together. I'm going to try having that server up to, for Fragment Friday, so by all means, if you get the chance, go ahead, run a few of those. I posted all of the custom words, the words that'll lead to custom boards, as it were, on the BBS, so check it out ahead of time. Grab a few and see which one tickles your fancy. Here we've got a few portals out here in this field, Earth Element, so we're going to see a lot of Guardians. Also going to see a lot of really weird statues, most of which are going to be buried in pillars or large rocks. Don't know what the deal with them exactly is, but they're always worth a laugh. And of course I kind of get to do my favorite thing when partying up, which is just sort of stand back and make sure everybody else gets hits. Just sort of body for people, take a little bit of damage and make sure everybody's healed so, you know, nobody just dies. Big thing is, in online, if you get a hit in, you're going to get full experience for the kill if somebody else finishes it. So my main goal here is to make sure that Necro and Zachmon, playing BB Zachmon, is getting a shot in. By the way, while I'm talking here, since I'm looking at BB Zachmon, it's my plug of the video time, and I'm going to do several others here, but first, since Stein has been such an absolute help on so many things, and has been so encouraging towards the little channel I've been doing here, just wanted to plug the guild they put together, BB Squad. If you have one of the teeny tiny characters you're seeing me running an increasing amount of dungeons with out of sheer coincidence, go ahead and see if you are BB Squad material. Go ahead and message Stein, get yourself a guild invite. Hop on the fastest growing little guild in .hack Fragment. Hopefully that plug wasn't too cheesy. Who am I kidding? I hope that was cheesy as hell. Moving back to the action here, because at some point I was doing commentary on a Fragment video. Got 3 more Guardians here, and Zachmon hit. That looked like a revolver skill, if I'm right on that. Running a Blade Master, multi-target attack. I'm assuming that's either a revolver or a crack skill, but I didn't see it jump. So they got their hits in, and then I just started flailing on things. I think Zach, you know, snuck into the kill on that third one there. I was missing a little. Necro certainly got in a bunch of damage as well. Necro running one of the more popular character selections as far as model goes, the little tiny female heavy axe with the angel wings and the giant axe. Just great, like, cartoony proportions. The axe is like 3 times the size of the wielder. Almost looks like one of those things that if they could get it spinning, they'd never be able to stop. Just a perfect counterbalance. There we see a chest materialize out of a portal, but first we stop at a symbol and pick up App Anide. That's our darkness element boost there. Got a fair selection of boosts. I always want to call them badges, because they look like damn scout badges. Here we come up on one of the rare non-guardian monsters on this field, a Cycloshark. just the way these things are patterned, it's a really neat design. And it reminds me of when you start running into like buggy areas in Infection where it's all ripped open and exposing the code. Spoilers if you haven't played Infection yet, that's a thing. If you've made it this long without seeing a picture of that, hats off to you. So we finish off that Guardian and another one was sneaking up behind us, and it just seems to have got bored waiting and just starts wandering around. We actually have to track it down. Once again, making sure everybody gets a hit in, and then I start thwacking away like a big doof. Get through that one pretty easy. Got a couple portals left there. Moving on through, and of course this, I want to say this is my 9th specific Fragment Friday upload. Not too, I know I've read the history on .hack Network. If you get the chance, check it out, because I'm terrible at remembering details like this, and Erroneous has really compiled a ton of data, and really just for fans of the .hack series in general, .hack.org or the .hack Network Discord, just great sources of information overall. There we had a data drain. Don't know who hit it, but it was a success from the looks of things. But yeah, .hack Network, great source overall for .hack fandom, and I believe on the website there's a little write-up about the history of Fragment Friday. I like to think of it as sort of a virtual block party, chance to get everyone together and celebrate the fact that we're here in 2020, playing a game that was never released widely. And so many cool things are happening in and around it that you just gotta love it. Coming up on our last portal here. Also, if you're looking for a specific Fragment Discord, Fragment Resurgence, chances are if you're watching this video, you've visited Fragment Resurgence, because, well, for starters, I'm going to be posting this in both areas, but that is the go-to place for .hack Fragment. One of my favorite haunts, and everybody there, top to bottom, as friendly as they can be, and super helpful. Now, we're gonna be hitting a weird part in this video, entering the dungeon. It's a little unfortunate. Zachmon ran into a bit of a freezing issue and ended up getting disconnected. Probably gonna take a little bit of a pause here. Okay, so we're back here. I paused there to just sort of get through that. As you can see, we're back in the first room. Before heading further in, we had hit that first room, and the first monster we ran into was a Cycla Shark, but that's where things started locking up for Zachmon. And unfortunately, when we tried to Sprite Ocarina out, their game had full-on crashed, and they were disconnected. Sort of an unfortunate thing, but I guess one of the unfortunate side effects of working on a 15-year-old game. There's little bugs and little quirks you don't expect to be popping up happening. So Necro and I, we got in touch with Zachmon, asked if they minded if we continued on, and we just went ahead and started finishing the dungeon. Really important for me on a personal level to get in and get a chance to play with Necro. I want to say I started playing Fragment late July, early August, and I was having fun on single player, because, you know, single player is a lot of fan service. It's .hack, just condensed and fan friendly, even without being able to read the translation, because it was all in Japanese. You know, you could tell who was who and what you were doing. if you were familiar with the IMOQ games, and I was having fun with it, and then I heard about online, but for the life of me just couldn't find anyone to play with. Necro was the first person I actually partied up with online, and that was when I saw just how awesome this game would be, not having to go into the menu to tell your other party members what to do, having them act independently, and this being that experience you wanted in the .hack universe as a fan. So I really got hooked from there, and as you could tell looking over my videos list on this channel, this is by far and away the most I do Fragment content, that is. I do some retro videos, I love those. I'm an old school video game guy at heart, even though, let's face it, I suck at 80% of them. But there's just such a charm to this series and so much history for it for me that I'm glad that I'm able to play this game, thrilled that I could play a game in this style as something other than a twin blade, I could tell you that much. No disrespect to Kite, but I've never been much for playing rogues in RPGs, and that's sort of where the twin blade falls in your typical RPG archetype set. But yeah, just from that one experience, I kind of guess I feel I owe a little debt to Necro, and I really wanted to make sure to connect with them. Of course, the difficult thing is they live in France, and I live in Pennsylvania, and that makes time to play very different for both of us. By the time I'm getting off work and everything, it's like way late for them. Still, cool that this was able to work out here. It was weird, it was one of those times like I was in and out all day and checking on the Discord to see if anybody was up to play, and I had just happened to step away to make something to eat for myself. I think I had made a couple sandwiches, and Necro had popped on, said hi, and popped off, and I real quick threw out a Necro, and about, I want to say 4 or 5 other people, I know Slistrel and a couple others did, just popped after Necro, and then I think Slistrel pinned mine to the board. Always fun to see what random things he pins to the board there. It's a riot. In fact, there's my plug for Fragment Resurgence. I can't put it any better than that. Just see what random things Slistrel has pinned to the board. That alone is daily entertainment. Memes are great too. Now that I've officially jawed through 80% of the first floor of this dungeon without actually calling any of the game, I apologize, guys. It's getting late here, I'm pushing. I really gotta get more focused on these videos. I'm certainly not doing the quality you guys deserve on these. So we're up against the Cycloshark there. It has a bit of an AppCorv ability. It boosts its attack, which is a little worrisome if you're soloing. But because we're in a party, all it's doing is giving us a window to take it down before it does a physical attack for damage. So little abilities like that are kinda your friends when monsters use them in a group. Gives you that chance to gang up on them before they're ready. Their Necros reminding me to at least take the eggs. I'm rather treasure averse in parties due to the amount of items and things I collect when soloing for these captures. So when I'm in parties, I feel greedy going for stuff. I really do. There we have another stone turtle. Guess I wasn't feeling my usual curious self. Normally when I run into a stone turtle, I'm always trying to angle the camera so I could see the little yellow turtle fall off as it dies. Don't know how I missed it all that time, but now that I know the turtle's there, it's a source of almost constant fascination for me. Guess I just wasn't feeling it this day. Up against a couple guardians here in this square room, picking off the second floor. Finish up the battle, and the doors unlock. Head to this little dead end here, and coming out of the portal we have a couple guardians. So yeah, very guardian-heavy adventure here. That was most of what we ran into out in the field, and certainly through the first 2 floors here. That's been a good bulk of the makeup of the monsters. Of course, bigger monsters are always sort of fun to see, and some of the designs are really weird too. You always hope for a good variety, though. You never want to run into the same monster over and over again, especially if they're mimics. I'm just gonna say that now. F the mimic, F the Moo Guardian. Do you guys ever have those 1 or 2 creatures you'd just rather never face again? Like, anytime you run into them, your anxiety level just goes a little bit higher than it should for a game? If you do, feel free to tell them down in the comments. I'm sure I could guess a few of them, but it would be interesting to hear some of the things you guys, like, really hate facing in this game or this series. Picking up a golden egg out of this, dead end room here. Now I'm just running across, so as you see, there are several rooms below us, and I'm just going completely with my blinders on here, because I'm thinking, oh, goody. Nice straight shot across and then up for the exit. I completely forgot about that extra direction there. But we're working our way through. I like a doof cast that lightning spell just because I sort of forgot what was the shortcut assigned to those buttons. I knew it was a spell, I just didn't know which one. I want to say that's Rhydon. I could be wrong there. Maybe Rhizot. I'm not sure. I'm not too good with the spell animations. You'd think, given the fact that my first series was about a Wave Master, I'd be a bit better with the spells, but if you watch that through again, like, my first 5 videos were just do Gandon. Do Gandon and have healing. Either way, we plow through those guardians, and again, I've got my blinders totally on at this point. I'm looking for the exit and nothing else, because as far as I'm concerned, this floor is cleared. I guess I could see here on the playback that already Necro was sorta hesitating, and I didn't notice until this point here where I'm like, okay, smooth sailing, we're motoring, and I'm like, wait, there's another hang up here. At first I was worried they were frozen, so I turned back and they're like, oh, you don't want to do every room? And I'm like, oh, I'm a putz. So again, pause here. Once I exit the room, I'm going to pause because, you know, there's a good deal of this that's just going to be backtracking. But eventually we find our way back here through the magic of television and got a couple more guardians. I get distracted sometimes, guys. I'm sorry. Old guy, hit the head a lot. Not much I could say to excuse myself there. Fortunately, thus far, everybody's been really patient with me and my awful dungeon running throughout this game, and I do appreciate that, certainly. Going through here to this little 90-degree room. And we have another stone turtle. And yeah, the little yellow turtle there on top. It jumped up there for that one spell and seems to have fallen off to the right. So I missed that, but instead you get a little bit of a dramatic slow walk from me as Necro levels again. Always cool to see other people in the party level up. You see that big yellow level up come up and it's like, awesome, we did it. You sort of take partial ownership for no reason. There I get an elemental hit on my ability there, and that ends that guardian battle right quick and in a hurry. So there's a couple chests there to claim, and once we get done with this room, we're probably going to do another Magic of Television teleport again, because you guys, once again, don't need to see me backtrack. And we've jumped back here and heading down to the 3rd floor. 20 minutes into this video, so thank you for watching up to this point. Once again, a grumpy old guy gaming, here with another Fragment Friday upload. Encouraging you to check out all of the fine festivities out and about .hack Fragment, and really the .hack universe in general. Whole bunch of cool things going on. I know there's an ongoing translation for .hack Versus, the fighting game that was piled in with their last movie, if I remember hearing right. That'll be cool once it's up and running. Fighting games, always a fun little diversion. Just always a cool project or two going on. I know just recently, I think it was September, maybe October, but it feels like September, there was that Tales of the Rays mobile game crossover. Couple people were doing uploads of that. That was fun to watch. I followed very little of it, but it was enough for me to understand what was going on in the game, and still kind of cool to check out. Moving into this little L-shaped room here, got a portal here in the corner. And more Guardians. Guys, normally this feels like a good point to throw out a joking drinking game, but I'm gonna try and preach responsibility on this because, you know, Tuesday was election day here in the United States, and a sobering reminder that we should all be a bit more responsible and mature than what's going on with that mess. That's about as political as I'll get, by the way. But let's not have a drinking game on this floor, because I feel it would have to be Guardian related, and that's just way too much of any liquid to go into a human body. So instead we're just going to keep moving, and we come across something new, and it's a crab turtle. The most psychedelic of enemies. I believe Necro data drained there. I certainly didn't hit it, or else you would have seen that little flash of light that comes with it. Kind of glad you don't go through the full animation cut. Could you imagine somebody wanting to play through that and then everybody else is just stuck waiting? You're up against a stone turtle. So yeah, there's a bit of variety here. There! Did you see it right there? Came off just down through the mini-map there. That little yellow turtle. Now that I'm done being a 6-year-old. Saw a shiny object and got excited. My apologies. But yeah, we've seen stone turtles, we've seen crab turtles, cyclosharks, and guardians. It's a fair bit of variety. I don't know why the saturation of guardians is sticking out to me. Moving on here. Next portal has a guardian and a crab turtle. Combination we had yet to see. Is that 2 crab turtles? Yeah, there's one hiding behind the guardian as well. Kind of taking them to task due to their proximity. Looks like Necro snuck in behind, and then we're both going to finish off this last crab turtle here. I think we lucked out here. I can't remember if the crab turtle specifically has the paralyze ability that so many of that line have, but I don't think they hit a single one this entire dungeon. Could be wrong here, and I'll feel free to show any areas if I happen to notice it, but we're coming up on 25 minutes here, and there's still a couple floors to go, so I'm probably going to magic a television some of this. Getting a bit smoother with my transitions on the warps. Hopefully they're not as jarring as they were in the Halloween trick-or-treat video. I know that one I went a little trigger happy with the pause button early on, and it led to some really wonky cuts. That one I was just so excited to be working all of that content into one video. Very much still learning this on the fly, and if any of this comes off as rough, I promise you that's 100% authentic. I'm still kind of finding my way around this, but it's been fun to do so, and it's been really rewarding for me to get so much positive feedback from everyone. At times, the wife, she gets a little annoyed with me for how, you know, deadpan and cynical I could get on these things. Especially when it comes to how I get when doing things and creating in general. I tend to look at the glass half empty, because then I see everything that could use improvement. That's how I look at it personally, but she thinks I'm just being a downer. So it's really cool to have so many people be so positive and encouraging, and just really appreciating the work I'm doing on these. Thank you guys so much. Getting back to the video here, took out that portal readily, and we've got what appears to be an empty room, and normally when these look like empty rooms, there's gonna be an egg or something in there at least. Here we've got an egg, and it's surrounded by these little jars. If you've been skipping breaking the objects like the jars and the little corpses sitting on the ground, first off, what are you doing? Like, they make such awesome little explosions when you hit them. Doing it for that animation alone is worth it, in my opinion. But also, that's where you'll get things like antidotes and restoratives, maybe some health drinks. Also, items like cooked bile, burning oil, holy sap, things like that. And you want to collect those because they're little buffs in themselves. I want to say they're elemental resistance buffs, but they could be traded in offline to NPCs, and the ones looking for those and the ones looking for the golden and silver axes usually have your more choice gear out of those level areas for items. So I usually find them and just keep them in fairy storage until those NPCs pop up when I'm in the offline mode, and then go ahead and trade for the gear. If not for me, then just have the items in case anyone needs. I also find I carry a little bit of extra gear just in case somebody needs an item. Always helps to have a little assortment, maybe just help them at least with something to hold off until they could find something better. And if not, you got fodder for the Spring of Mist. Chuck something at Monsieur or Grandpa, because you know they'll happily chuck a golden or silver axe at you, huh? Take out that crab turtle there. Throw a quick rep Necro's way. Can't believe I've still just got base rep on my long arm. I really need to upgrade gear for this guy. That should be another video there. Me taking Grumpo guy equipment shopping. Going for a crab turtle here. And then wrapping up with a guardian. I think I had a couple misses there, but I redeemed myself the elemental hit, and you see the little golden egg dancing in the background there. Now just sort of meandering back. I know I've been fast forwarding through some of the backtracking, but guess a little doesn't hurt, right? It's only a couple rooms anyway. Making our way up this T here, and then you have this little weird C-shaped room where there's a little altar on each one of the ends of the C. Here I pick up a golden egg. Just on a hunch, but equal money could have been empty. Unfortunately, that left Necro on their own with the flame heads. Very irresponsible of me on that one. Guys, don't abandon monster portals to go pick up an egg. There's your grumpy old PSA of the board. Managed to make it through incident free, and got a tiny room there. And we'll move into this little 90-degree room with a portal right in the top of the arch. Couple crab turtles. Again, just making sure hits are landed on both by Necro, and then to town I will come a-swinging. Don't know why I let up on the other one there, it was only a hit away, but Necro was nice enough to finish it off. Once again, toss a rep their way. I think maybe I just have reps up because it's only 10 SP. This character is as cheap with its skill points as I am with my money. Moving down the stairs here, coming up on floor 5. I want to say this is the final floor of this dungeon. I think it was only 5 floors. Pick up the immature egg. It's a larger room, so we had a little bit of a gap before we reached that portal. And again, the flame heads. Big, imposing looking monster. It's got all of the dark coloration and spikes you look for in physical intimidation in an early 2000s game. But it's also got very poor defense, so you could hit it for about as much as it could hit you. I mean, absolutely hitting for a ton. I know I'm a little over leveled on this particular field, but 278 is nothing to sneeze at. Gonna go down first. Got a couple portals, and it looks like that bottom room is gonna have a chest in the middle and then all sorts of breakable objects lining it. It's usually 3 on each side and then 3 in the back. So if you're fully partied up with 3 people, what you want to do is sort of split those up. Everybody gets a wall of breakable items, and then whoever could use the chest most gets the chest, or maybe you alternate it. I don't know how you want to split it up. But to me, that's a couple options that seem pretty fair. Personally, because I just love breaking the little objects, I just kind of run for those first and foremost. Heading through here. Guess I picked the not ideal way there, but eventually Necro was nice enough to come down here, and I got to break my little crates and barrels. See, I picked up a restorative and health drink just from those 3. And it gave me a good bit of time while they were looting the rest of the room to pop a speed charm and cast a defense buff. So no delay there, and I get my spells done. Even had a chance to heal. The hidden advantage of treasure rooms. Moving into this dead-end corridor, we got a couple more crab turtles. Again, no imminent threat to me on any part of this. And even that's kind of cool, because I get to throw out stupid amounts of damage on just normal attacks and look like a total badass on these videos. Complete 180 from the earlier videos where I am just getting it handed to me. If you want a good laugh, at this point I strongly encourage you watch some of the videos where my character just gets completely toasted. The New Year's videos are good for that, because that's a level 80 board. None of my characters are anywhere near there, and I stupidly tried to attempt it a couple times anyway. Also, one of the reasons I try to log in so much online, I've had stupid good luck with events. I've hit the New Year's event on 3 separate occasions, but only the one with the Heavy Blade Twilight Tarot. Apparently there's a New Year's Eve event as well with a giant big Wave Master guy. I need to hit that one, but I also had the pleasure of running the Sports Day event with Dow and Slishstrel. They were absolutely the best at dragging me around and not getting too annoyed with how useless I was, and we made it the whole way to the bottom. got to meet everybody's favorite twin blade, who doesn't get a bracelet of immense power. Of course, I'm talking about Natsume. She's at the bottom of the Sports Day dungeon, up against a trifecta of crab turtles here, and anytime I see 3 monsters with a status effect, I usually resign myself to taking that status effect. But again, we were incredibly lucky here, and yeah, as far as I can recall, not a single paralyzed this entire dungeon. Really lucked out on that. Coming up here, got a couple more crab turtles, and that's our final dungeon result. Finishing up here real quick. Not much left but the treasure room, and I'm gonna spare you guys. I didn't open the thing myself, and most of the rest of that was just us talking back and forth, and me once again insisting on my vow of not taking chess in multiplayer. But I wanted to thank you guys for watching this run, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you're enjoying this content. Please let me know if you do. While you're at it, check out the absolute flood of Fragment related content and .hack related content that's been going on lately. Great time to be a fan of the series, and a great time to get into this game and get your friends into this game. This has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming. Happy Fragment Friday, and we will catch you next time.